Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. Yes, Danny Masterson has been given 30 years to life in prison for doing these despicable acts to two women. Sadly, there is more victims out there. We've covered it on this channel and so has many other people covered it as well. But it was only these three people that actually were able to get their case in front of the judge and go to trial. Prosecutors have argued that Masterson used his position in the Church of Scientology, where he was a member, to avoid consequences for his actions in the years after the attacks. The church said the testimony and descriptions of Scientology beliefs during the trial were uniformly false. Actor Danny Masterson has been given a jail sentence of 30 years to life for doing this to two women 20 years ago. Best known for his role is in the TV comedy That 70s Show. He was handed the prison term after LA Superior Court Judge Charlene Almeida heard from the women he did this to, who detailed their trauma and suffering. And what did he do? He just sat there, and according to people who were inside the court, there was no emotion on his face. The 47-year-old actor, who has been in custody since May, sat in his suit without reaction as the pair spoke. One woman said, "When you did this to me, you stole from me. That's what this is, a theft of the spirit. You are pathetic, disturbed, and completely violent. The world is better off with you in prison. 100%. The other woman, who he also did this to in 2003, said Masterson has not shown an ounce of remorse for the pain he caused, which he hasn't. He hasn't shown any remorse to any of the people who's come forward and said that he did horrible things to him. No remorse whatsoever." She told the judge, "I knew he belonged behind bars for the safety of all the women he came into contact with. I am so sorry, and I'm so upset. I wish I'd reported him sooner to the police." They have no reason to be sorry. They haven't got to be sorry about all of this. Again, that is them just thinking, now, like, if I went to the police, this maybe not have happened to other people. But we will get into it regarding what Scientology actually did after. The mistrial was declared in December of last year when we covered it, after a jury failed to reach a verdict on the 3 counts and he was retried on all charges. Last year as well, in January, my channel got demonetized because I had a whole host of videos that were flagged, and the majority of them were Scientology ones and some of the ones based on Danny Masterson. Wonder where that came from. Once I deleted them, that's why you won't see them on the channel. Once I deleted them, the channel was fine again. Yeah. He was found guilty by a majority decision of 2 counts on the 31st of May after 7 days of deliberations. But the jury could not reach a verdict on the 3rd count allegedly involving another woman. He was sentenced after a defense motion for a new trial was rejected, with his lawyers trying to have the 2 convictions run concurrently at 15 years to life. It's his life that will be impacted by what you decide today, one of his lawyers said. Sorry, he's ruined people's lives. You know what? His life will be impacted? Tough shit. He shouldn't be a horrible, horrible monster, should he? And the life of his 9-year-old daughter, who means the world to him and to whom he means the world. That is literally now, oh, think of the children. No, sorry, you can't do that. Think of the children of the people he's done this to. You know? They got families. They got mothers. They got fathers. What about their children, what he did it to? You know? He has lived an exemplary life. He has been an extraordinary father, husband, brother, son, co-worker, and community servant. Prosecutors argued his position in the controversial Church of Scientology, where the 2 women and 1 alleged victim were also members, was used to avoid consequences afterwards, with the women blaming the organisation for their hesitancy in going to the police. We've seen that. Leah Remini, you know, you've got Aaron, Aaron, everyone, Mike Rinder, you name it. They've all shown people what goes on. They've shown people what they've had to sign. They've shown people as well, literally, they prohibit you going to the law enforcement, to the police, if anything bad happens to you. And again, that is the majority of, that sort of thing is the higher-ups doing most religions. Again, I'm not a religious person. I don't like religion. But again, no, with all of this, it's a little bit like, come on, look what's happened. And they made these women sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. We went over that last year. And again, Leah Remini, she has actually brought out the letter that was sent to Scientology and David Miscavige by one of the victims. And they were like, yeah, we don't care. That's how bad Scientology is. Again, like I said, all religions, but we are looking into this at the moment. So that's why I'm saying Scientology, this, that, and the other regarding them. That's what people come in the comments start doing like what they did last year, which was kind of funny. And this is what Scientology said in a statement. Testimony and descriptions of Scientology's beliefs during the trial were uniformly false. The church has no policy prohibiting or discouraging members from reporting criminal conduct of anyone, Scientologists or not, to law enforcement. Masterson did not testify, nor did his lawyers call any witnesses during the trial, with the defense instead arguing that the acts were consensual. The women whose evidence led to his conviction said that in 2003 he gave them drinks that made them feel lightheaded before they passed out, and he did this to them. But I'm just happy that he's now gone behind bars. 30 years to life. He's currently 47. He'll be 77 by the time he's eligible for parole. That's even if they say yes. For, he may not just actually get life, proper life. Like here in the UK, 15 years is life, which is just ridiculous. But with all of this, we have seen a few people who are friends of Masterson. And we're going to take a look now because Ashton Kutcher. I do like Ashton Kutcher. I am a fan of his and everything else, some of the comedy he's done. And he spoke out on the trial in January of this year. And he says, ultimately, I can't know if he's innocent. Which is kind of a, I suppose it is a good way of saying it, because it's like, well, I wasn't with him all the time. I don't know if he's innocent or not. But he did go into, because it was in the Esquire, and he was talking about it regarding, he said he wants for Masterson to be found innocent of the charges brought against him. However, that doesn't mean Kutcher wants him off the hook for alleged crimes. Kutcher just hopes that Masterson's alleged behaviour isn't true because he was such a mentor to him throughout his career. If the allegations against Masterson are true, that's a different story. Ultimately, I can't know, Kutcher said about the outcome of Masterson's trial. I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, I'm not the DA, I'm not the victim, and I'm not the accused. And so, in that case, I don't have a space to comment. I just don't know. And to be honest with you, that is actually one of the best ways and best comments to come out with. Because we have seen so many times how fast celebrities are to come out and be like, no, they're innocent or they're guilty or whatever. It's either or. And with this one, it's literally like, I don't know. We need to see how this goes. Because people need to remember as well, Ashton Kutcher is a big philanthropist for human trafficking and the sex trafficking and all of those victims. So with this as well, and if one of his friends, again, back then in January, the trial wasn't going forward again until May, he's like, I don't know what's going on. If he did these crimes, then he should be held accountable. If he didn't, then he's innocent. That's it. But this is what I do like of what Kutcher said, because this is what people like Masterson, the ones who actually do get done for it, this is what they do. Kutcher said that Masterson became the ringleader for the young cast of the 70s show since he had already been working for some time before the series launched. Masterson kept the cast in check and away from the things you're injecting to yourself. Kutcher remembered, he's like, one fucking rule. Don't do anything fucking stupid and fuck this up, because if you fuck it up, you fuck it up for everybody, Kutcher said of Masterson's advice to him at the time. Yes. Don't do it, don't mess people up, you don't want to do this. He did it. That's what they do. They come out and say, oh, you can't do this, don't do that. But then behind doors, they're normally the ones who are doing it. We've seen it so many times with so many people who have been found guilty of doing horrible things behind closed doors, and when there's actual evidence for it as well. And it's going to be interesting to see now how Kutcher comes out and says anything, if he says anything, that is. But yes, Danny Masterson, 30 years to life. Glad he's got that. He should never be released. He deserves to be behind bars. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for future updates. And I'll see you all in a week. Bye-bye.